Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Los Angeles Rams. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. Off the play fake. Herman. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. A long way to go in this one. I'm sure that's not the only score we'll see today, but to jump out like that, very good.
Yeah, everyone wants to set the pace. You know, in a game like this, you want people chasing you. You don't want to be the team chasing them. That's exactly what they did.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Bucs now. Throwing after the interception. Herman. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This is Howard on second down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play for the Bucs there on third down. 44 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. What? Nothing. What? Nothing.
On first down, they run with Howard. He's to the 10. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Come on, let's go. What? Nothing. What? Nothing.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Jordan Howard taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
4 down, check, 4 down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, 5. Yes, sir.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. And this is going to be incomplete. That's going to be an intriguing matchup to continue to watch. You don't get in the playoffs without having a good guy to cover out wide. If they want to move on, get in the championship, then the Super Bowl, he's going to have to be big in this one.
And this is not basketball where you're worried about your star getting fouls and getting in trouble and maybe not playing as much. You take your number 1 guy, put it on their number 1 guy, and try and limit their offense.
Tiger.
They're going to go for it. It's Goff. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Ohio!
This is Howard. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Jordan Howard with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And the Rams getting set to go now. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis. From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. Flush to his right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Levante David in there to drop him for a loss on the play. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter.
Flex round! Flex round!
On 1st and 10, Herman. He leads this one for Howard. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
From the gun, Herman, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herman, he's got his man on the crossing route. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles, and really scatter some people, can't they?
A give to Howard. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now running right through it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Howard. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go. 190. 190.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Herman. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And, oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
On 1st and goal, Howard. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They come out here in the eye. They get it to him running left. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Jordan Howard saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And on the ground they go with a running back. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They run with Howard. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll try to run for it with Howard, and he'll get nothing out of that one. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And his kick is right there. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. A shotgun snap for Goff. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Fletcher Cox getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. From the gun, here's Goff. Throw left side complete. It's Bailey. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
He's going to wind up and air it out. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He'll return it from the 6. Oh, a nice spin. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, the cheater.
And I think the ball's out. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery, but on fourth down, a change of possession anyway.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Running with Howard. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll run from the pistol with Howard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Play action. Herman going up top. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Ohio!
And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Bucs on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Ohio! Flex round! Ohio!
From the gun, Herman. Wide open receiver, complete. That'll put him north of 100 yards receiving now in this divisional round game. It's a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Hut!
From the gun on third down, Herman. And a catch right side by Evans. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Flex round! Flex round!
Again, it's Howard. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The Bucs on third down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This will be 3rd and 6.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90! Flex round! Flex round!
Back to throw. Herman, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Rams have got it back.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
17! 17! 17! Maverick! Maverick!
Following the fumble recovery, Goff steps away to his left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Out of the gun, Goff. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, LA. Deontay Burnett, 72 yards. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herman. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off near the 34. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Goff again. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Bailey. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. In for the score. And thanks to the interception, the Rams offense cashes in for 6. Sirline connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again. But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. To throw on second down. Herman dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to have a third down. Operating from the gun, Herman. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Again, left side to Howard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They go with Howard again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The tackle there by John Johnson.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Herman throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the right hash, this from 53. And his kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Tiger.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. Goff now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Value 1.
On first down, it's Gurley. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. In on the stop, Vernon Hargreaves.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those.
Dula.
Back to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
The Rams on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8.
Hot. 20. 17.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
DC. 12. 12.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
12. Yes, sir.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
DC.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. This defense not going to lag back. They come with pressure that time, force him out of the pocket, and the incompletion.
And so many times when you're watching a game, you're seeing the offense doing all the dictating. In this case, the defense said, we're dictating the terms, and turned it loose towards him.
Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on fourth down. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So down 6, and they know they need this one on fourth down.
76, tell him. 76.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the fourth quarter.
We all knew the situation. We're in the fourth quarter. Who's going to step up and make the big play? But we just saw it, didn't we? Took their shot, downfield, got it, and now they're in a great position to take the lead.
Zerline good with a PAT, and that is going to put him on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Flex round! Flex round!
Looking to throw on second down. Herman. That's caught by Howard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's first and 10. Operating from the gun. Herman. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And the return will stop right around the 25. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead.